This one's for my forever dungeon masters out there. Hi, I'm Dave Makes Noises. Welcome to MrRipper, and today we're asking the community at large, what is the best plot hook your players ignored or otherwise failed to pick up? The serial killer from the first town is a crew member on their pirate ship. All the murders that have followed them everywhere have been ignored with little to no concern. Edit, people have asked for more details. Incident 1. The first session of the campaign, after meeting in a tavern, they literally witness a murder. The serial killer kidnaps people, releases them in the woods outside of town, and hunts them, most dangerous game style. Victim 1 almost made it back to town and was murdered in front of the party after they washed up on shore after surviving a shipwreck. An arrow from the woods killed him. The party made their way to the tavern, then barely seemed to think anything special about seeing it. Incident 2. After negotiating a tentative peace with the town noble and the leader of the dock workers, the party agreed to investigate the nearby smoking volcano the next day. They hear news of Incident 1 and learned the name of the victim. The players focused on the volcano and basically ignored the murder. They hear a scream outside the tavern before going to bed. The killer had just grabbed his next victim and was dragging her into the woods. The players did not investigate the screams. They set extra watches and fortified a window and door. Incident 3. Upon returning victorious from the volcano, they were all glad for the help of their pirate/dockman, who was helmsman on their ship. A brute of a man who served the god of the hunt and wore human finger bones around his neck. Interestingly, a farmer they met on the way was found dead on their way back. Incident 4. 3 days out at sea, a crewman went missing. Presumed fell overboard. The helmsman had provoked him into a private duel on deck. The party failed perception rolls and didn't hear the fight. The helmsman killed him and tossed him overboard as a sacrifice to his god for good fortune on the seas. So, we'll see what happens when they get to their next town. One of my players has run into 3 orcs and half-orcs from his clan. He was banished due to a change of leadership. All of them have had information on goings-on of his old clan, including the location of his mother. Literally his plot arc. All those orcs and half-orcs have been killed without conversation. I had a player who loves Dune. He named his character after a Dune character and every bit of flavor related to Dune in some way. He was a hobgoblin, which was not a race normally present on the continent they were on. He came from the other side of the world. I prepared an entire arc focusing on goblin slaves and free goblins in the desert Badlands. The party freed some of the slaves and helped them out, and I had planned out a way that he could basically play out being Paul Atreides with the goblins in the role of the freemen. He wanted nothing to do with this. When given a quest to kill a dragon and be given half of its riches, they decided to burn down a tavern because the guy in the corner didn't want to chat. Rumors at a local tavern. They heard 3 potential stories of good side quests, one involving the main quest. It involved a mysterious tower in the middle of the ocean, which sailors either could never reach or went missing trying to get to. What did the party do? They choose to go help a couple that needed marriage counseling that I threw in last minute for flavor to fill the tavern. It ended up a whole new plot itself, so there's that. The rogue had her home manor burned down in her backstory, which led to her becoming a rogue and doing rogue things. Now she's back in her hometown, and on 3 separate occasions, I point out that the big manor on top of the hill is clearly intact. She misses all of them. They leave and continue the main plot without investigating her backstory at all. It gave one of my party members letters from home telling him he was on trial for using his powers to influence a nation. This was done by an imposter, which was clear just from a cursory examination of the letters. The letters also warned him not to return unless he gathers evidence. They lost track of the big bad evil guy, and this was also a way to get them back on hunting him with some description hints and where he was spotted. First thing the player wants to do is go home, not getting evidence to prove himself innocent. Just straight up go home and not tell the rest of the party why or what is going on. A bunch of kobolds have been stealing stuff from caravans. Their goal is to build an army, but they're kobolds, so they're very poorly organized, so it's all just kinda cute when you ignore the tyranny. There's a board in their lair that says, 1. Steal supplies. 2. Get weapons. 3. 4. World conquest. Also, there's a town of crazy people who were poisoned by a wizard. He cast a ward around the town that makes people trying to get in find a reason not to enter. And they just feel the need to walk away. This one's more serious, but I was excited for them to put the pieces together on their own. Oh well. I wouldn't call this a good plot hook, but it's memorable. Start of a one-shot, I set the situation, tell the players what has been happening, and describe how they get woken up early because the room is strangely cold. All of them roll over and don't want to move until breakfast is ready. A necklace with a very distinctive symbol fell off from one major antagonist, which might have given them a hint about the big bad evil guy's true identity. They sold it because it looked expensive. I got one. Party needs to get an elf councilman deposed, but since he's untouchable, they need to reveal a scandal so bad it would turn most of the kingdom against him. This kingdom hates undead with a passion. Being one is punishable by death, and harboring one is grounds for exile. Well, wait just 1 minute. Did that undead elf pirate from a session or two back have a bunch of possessions that included an emblem from this kingdom? And isn't this councilman mourning the anniversary of his only child's disappearance? Cue nearly a full hour of the party debating which would be easier to fake and accuse the councilman of. Eating aarakocra and serving it to guests, or making fake healing potions using tomato juice. The ranger in the group I DM waited till everyone was sleeping to sneak out and spy on a rival faction in the same area. I described how he watched them walk in the sand, beach area, and then turn suddenly and begin entering the water. He just said that he wanted to fire an arrow at them. Combat. They got away, and the path to whatever they were going for now is hidden. Currently, they have access to several friendly information brokers who can help them run down the grocery list of items needed to repair their crashed and unusable airship. But instead of bartering with anyone for information, they're just going to sail around and get into trouble. Oh well, this is fun in its own way. I had this very exciting background plot hook set up for one of the PCs. Long story short, he was a guild merchant on a revenge mission to find whoever burned down his home village with his shop and all. The party ventured through a monk training settlement amidst high karsts. On the highest top of the settlement was a cherry blossom tree with the pool of doubt underneath, a magical pond that shows anyone who takes a look either a horrible truth or a horrible lie. I was going to show the PC the horrible truth regardless of what he rolled, which was that one trainer monk in the settlement was the perpetrator who burned down his village when he was a young man. Guy straight up said, "It showed me the lie." Massive hole in the town square, perfectly smooth all the way around, and is so deep that you can't see the bottom even at midday. Entire town claims it was made by the meteor they have enshrined at the town hall. Alchemist even made an incredible roll to find out there's an enchantment on the hole that makes you start thinking about something else if you get suspicious, as well as makes you have no interest in climbing down into it. Party finds out the meteor is magic, causing supernatural crop and animal growth in the town, but something causes the adults to turn insane and ravenous at night. The party ends up hiding in a shack that a few kids were not affected by whatever is going on, told them was a safe place to sleep. In the morning, the party bought some green beans. Then they left and never went back. I've asked them multiple times why. The answer? Yeah, it didn't seem like it was part of the main plot. Gave the party a broken, as in damaged, sword that was carried by a famous elven hero. They needed to get an elven village to like them to pass through this portal thing. It was intended for them to either bring it to the giants to have it reforged or just give it directly to the elves. Nope. They threw it in a bag of holding and never touched it again. Rogue got mad that no one wanted to buy it either. Everyone either accused him of forgery or flat out refused to buy it because they believed it to be cursed. The players couldn't figure out why I gave them such a useless item. They met someone from the future who explicitly told them that the capital city they were currently in was destroyed after someone broke the main gate of the city. A few weeks later, they accepted a mission to break the main gate of the city, and then they complained when the city was destroyed. Classic murder hobo tale. The first time I was a DM, the party went into an abandoned, partially ruined town surrounded by a moat. After exploring, they met a shady woman and her companion who were plot hooks for the story. They completely ignored her, wandered around the rest of the town, and began to burn it down. She thought that was excessive, so they killed her. Feeling generous, I had some people from a nearby settlement notice the smoke and ride in, fully prepared to arm them with the necessary info to keep the story going. The party crossed the bridge spanning the moat and greeted them in front of the town. Some phenomenal deception rolls by the party led to them convincing these kind folks that there was a threat across the bridge that would threaten their settlement. So I reluctantly had the newcomers ride into the burning location. The party then burned the bridge. Literally. Hello, hi, and welcome to the very end of this very video, and thank you for watching up until this point. Your patience knows no bounds. If you cried a silent tear as your party completely missed the boat you had laid in place for them, we want to hear about it in the comments below. And if you have another story, as always, please drop it off in our subreddit, r/MrRipper, where we work tirelessly to cultivate stories like these for videos like this. If you are a DM or a player looking to gather an online group, you may have some luck over on our Discord server, MrRipper's Group Finder. This week, I hope you invest your time and or money in something you believe in. If you want more of my shenaniganry, you can find my fuzzy butt on Instagram and TikTok at Dave Makes Noises. And as always, please sub for Nat 20s and consider applying for the early squad. The application process is quite simple. To begin, you simply ring the bell. You'll be notified of what's to come after you've done that. Thank you again for watching till the end. We're truly grateful that you've joined us today at Rip Daddy's house, and we'll see you next time.